Hey there guys, my name is Bradrenaline and today I've got a really good battle for you guys. I really wanted to share this from yesterday's stream. I streamed for about 7 hours and most of the battles were good, you know, Tapu's here, Ultra Beast's there, some really good battles. Some I won, some I lost. This was probably the best battle. A lot of people said it was really entertaining. The guy also he's only just starting out competitive, so it's quite ironic that the best battle I had was with a new competitive player. A lot to learn from. Unfortunately, there won't be any game sound in this because since the version 1.1 update, you can't load the battle that mutes the music, but I'll have some different music over the top. Hopefully I don't get copyright claimed. I'm getting quite unlucky with copyright claims recently. Yesterday's Evo Boost video got copyright claimed. I've had a claim on another one of my videos, so you know, it's been a bit dicey, but let's have a look at Rune's team real quick. The person I'm battling was called Rune. He's got the Hail combo of Ninetales and Sandslash. He's got a Beware, he's got a Vikavolt, a Sandcastle, I forget his name all of a sudden, and Incineroar. So, because I didn't have too many teams prepared for yesterday's stream, I will be using my sort of try-hard OU team. It doesn't really have anything that stands out, it's more of like a counter to Tapus and Ultra Beasts. It works really well, and it's like the team I use in like serious battles. So, we'll jump into it. It's taken me ages to explain myself, but I will be trying to document this as best I can in the time that we have, because it's a very long battle. A lot of things went certain ways in very interesting ways. So obviously Ninetales is going to be leading just to get the Aurora Veil. It's a very standard strategy, and it does drag this battle out because I have nothing to get rid of it. I have no Defog, and I have no Brick Break. So I lead off with Mamoswine. He's obviously going to Aurora Veil, and I'm going to get my Stealth Rocks. We're in like a gentleman's agreement here. I like having the Stealth Rocks for, obviously he's got the Ninetales and the Incineroar that are super effective. They take 25%. Some others take 12%. And that's going to add up if there's more switching. Although he has less reason to switch with the Aurora Veil up. So obviously he's going to swap out straight away. And he's going to go into a Sandslash, make use of the Slush Rush. It is a shiny Sandslash. Looks pretty damn nice. I've only got a regular one. It's a bit brighter. So I get the rocks and then I double out. I was expecting, I can't remember what I was expecting, but it wasn't Sandslash. So just trying to feel him out a bit here, like see how good he actually is. So I double back into, well, I pivot into Gyarados, expecting a ground move, or you know, something that's going to hit Magnezone super effective. And he goes for the Swords Dance, so pretty scary. He's now at +1 after the Intimidate. And he's going to be the sort of Glass Cannon Sandslash with the Life Orb. So I get my leftovers back after the Hail, so it doesn't really matter. But now I think I switch. So I'm going to be switching out to my Magnezone and then pivoting back with the Intimidate to try and get him back down to neutral attack. So these first few turns, you know, we're just trying to see what our teams are about. Celesteela takes quite a lot from that. It is Life Orb, it is +1. It's probably Adamant instead of Jolly. I'm pretty sure you run Adamant on Slush Rush in the Hail. So like I said, I'm going to be switching back into my my Gyarados and then getting it back down to neutral attack. And then I think he just goes for the Icicle Crash again, which is neutral, but it is Stab, it is Life Orb. So there's nothing really of urgency yet, but that does a ton of damage from neutral. So this is where the battle starts to get interesting. The Hail has stopped. The Aurora Veil is still up, but I think it's only for 1 or 2 more turns. So now is when the plays start happening. So he switches out and he goes into his Vikavolt. I think I switch out as well. Or do I though? So it takes the Stealth Rock damage. Oh, I substitute, that's right. So because the Hail had stopped, I knew I'd be faster. So rather than switch out, go for the substitute, because you still get some sort of initiative. Like you basically get a free turn in some sort. So I know he switched out and I can get an attack off here and then see what I want to do from there. So I'll go for the Waterfall. It is Stab. I'm not boosted by Dragon Dance, but I can kind of see he's invested in HP. He might have some defense EVs, but Vikavolt's quite tanky, you know. It's got some decent base stats for the sacrifice of having really slow speed. I thought it would be way faster, but it is tanky. It's very bulky. Goes for the Thunderbolt, ×4 effective. So we're both leftovers. He's a bulkier variant than I am, although I'm still in in a much worse position right now, so got to switch out. Really want to keep my Gyarados for later on, so I go into my Malmaswine, and this was so painfully obvious, but I was really proud of this play from Rune, because I like being predicted. You know, when someone predicts you and they get it right, well, when it happens to me, it really makes me enjoy the battle more. I concentrate more and I try and play better, because if they're predicting me, then mind games are afoot and things like that. So really started to enjoy this battle when he got the read with the energy ball. I just get the Icicle Crash off for the damage because I was down to my sash, so he can take me out here. I'm fine with letting Malmaswine go. He's got nothing that can really get rid of the Stealth Rock, so I got some damage onto one of his bulkier mons that I don't really have a necessary answer to. So normally I have answers to things like Tapu Koko, obviously in my ground types and stuff like that, but I've just got to kind of outspeed him and use damage and then pivot into something that resists. So I do that with the Hydreigon. I go into it and then I U-turn just to get a little chip damage, and then he'll have leftovers. But I go into Celestia, sorry, and tank the Bug Buzz. It is still going to do a lot even though it's resisted. But I'm pretty confident from here that a Volt Switch with Specs is going to take it out even though it's resisted, because I think he has okay special defense, but I'm pretty sure his physical defense is better. So I go for the Volt Switch and it takes it out. And now I can choose to go into something which he would see and then switch something into. So I like to do this a lot actually. Like, I won't switch into what I want to. I'll switch into something that my opponent will have favourable. So I'm basically manipulating what they'll go into. So he goes into the Beware after I switch in the Mimikyu. And I know a lot of people run Shadow Claw, or they run some sort of coverage move. So I switch straight back out. I want to keep my Disguise for late game if I can. So I switch back into the Gyarados just to get another Intimidate off. This Gyarados is pretty much a pivot in this battle to get the Intimidators off. He goes for the Shadow Claw like I expected. It still takes me out. I thought I'd actually like live with a few HP, but it might have been a roll, who knows. So I take this opportunity to go into Metagross. Obviously I have a super effective attack. He has Shadow Claw, but it's not Stab. It might be super effective, but I take this chance to Mega Evolve, and I have it in my mind that he can go for the Incineroar, because obviously Zen Headbutt doesn't affect dark types. So I go for the Meteor Mash as like the safest move to go for, and it's Stab. I get the Attack Raise, and this actually helps me out a ton, because obviously he's one lower. Shadow Claw is still doing a decent amount without critting me. I'm pretty sure a crit now would take me out, so I predict the Incineroar here and just go for the Earthquake, although I still could have just gone for the Meteor Mash and I would have outsped next turn if he brought the Incineroar in. So I thought that was my best play at the time, but you know, after about 6 hours of streaming, you do kind of you do have to think quite on the spot. I do think Meteor Mash would have been the overall safe play, but find no reason not to just spam Earthquake from this point. I do outspeed a lot of his team, if not all of his team. I am base 110 jolly max speed, and Ninetales is 109, so he brings in the Sand Slash without the Hail, which was a big misplay on his part actually. He should have gone into Ninetales straight away, and then if he was going to double into Incineroar here, now would have been the good chance to do it. So you would have doubled into Incineroar, sacked it off, gone into Sand Slash, outsped me, and tried to take me out. So I think that was a better way of you working around that, because you basically sacked off your Incineroar for free. I mean, that was the option, but you didn't do it in the optimal way, because obviously the Hail wasn't up. So I have an idea of what you were going for, but now Palossand is out. I finally remembered its name. Fort Texas is on the field, so I have an idea of what this thing does. Its typing is actually very good against my team outside of what's the Pokemon called? Hydreigon. So I just switch into my Magnezone because I need Death Fodder, kind of like what he did, but mine was more beneficial and lower health anyway. So I could get rid of Magnezone and switch into something that can force Palossand out. So that is my Hydreigon. And then I double out actually. I thought I was going to go for the U-turn, but it seems I just double straight back out. This was quite an aggressive play because obviously he has the Ninetales, the Sand Slash, and the Palossand. So I switched straight back out thinking he'll want to get the Hail up. And now it gets quite desperate. It gets quite interesting. So he sets the Hail, and I think that I basically have, even though I outspeed, I have to Bullet Punch. He hasn't seen me Bullet Punch. He might think I'm adamant. He might be timid max speed, and I don't want him to get the Aurora Veil up, so I need to Bullet Punch here. So I go for the bullet punch. It was kind of a 50-50, but he switches back into the palisand, and he sees me bullet punch here. So, you know, it's not terrible. I think I made the right decision. I lived the hail just, and now I basically have to hope that I land a meteor mash, because it is a steel stab move. It is going to put him really close to being knocked out by the hail if it doesn't. So he lives with about 1 or 2 HP. Doesn't matter, obviously, because the hail is up. He basically killed off his palisand, but I still would have been able to switch into Hydreigon and U-turn and get back into my Mimikyu. So either way you put it, this is coming pretty close, you know. I think we both have 2 Pokemon left now. I have Mimikyu and Hydreigon, and he has Ninetales and the Sandslash. So he's got the hail up, and he's going to go into Ninetales and most likely set up the Aurora Veil. So I don't usually like swords dancing as soon as I come in with Mimikyu, but this is one of those games where I have to set it up, because he's going for that late game Aurora Veil to kind of keep his Sandslash alive, to try and take out both my Mimikyu and my Hydreigon. So have the swords dance, and then I also have to use my trump card. It's not the most popular, I mean, it's not the most obscure thing, sorry, but I do have the Ghost Z move, and I'm gonna have to use it here because he does outspeed me. I think I'm not running max speed. I might be running max speed. I've got a team paste bin somewhere, but I'll end up sharing this team when I stop using it, I think. So I obviously go for the Z move, the Never-Ending Nightmare, and I'm pretty confident it takes out thingy. I'm +2. It kind of negates the Aurora Veil, and then I basically have to just do some damage to the Sandslash. So my main idea from a few turns ago was to try and help stall out the hail, because I noticed it's not going for 8 turns, or it might be going for 8 turns, but then again, this battle was 25 turns, and I think I was checking the you know, the tab, the info on like the Aurora Veil, the hail and stuff like that. So the hail is now gone, and I can actually outspeed. So he waited a bit too long to bring in his Sandslash. I think Aurora Veil was a mistake. He should have just tried to take out my Mimikyu. So I can get a Shadow Claw off. He does take out my Mimikyu with the Iron Head, super effective, so no reason not to. And then Life Orb damage is going to put him pretty close to being dead, and I have the Choice Scarfed Hydreigon. I have Flamethrower just to show him that even if this was full health, I'd probably take it out, because even though the Aurora Veil's up, I'm pretty sure ×4 effective was going to one bang. But damn, such a close battle. Like, I learned a lot about my team from this battle. Like, some of the things you go against make you play a different way, like having to get rid of stuff, use Gyarados as a pivot to try and weaken some of his damage, because his Aurora Veil was very difficult to play around without Brick Break. I didn't even have anything that learned it, I don't think. Maybe Mimikyu learns it, maybe Metagross learns it, but yeah, very good game, man. He did mention starting a YouTube channel soon, but I can't really link it if it's not off the ground. If you start making videos and stuff when you get a capture card and stuff, I'll be happy to link it. I'll be happy to battle you again in the future, or do like a, you know, a series or something. So yeah, nothing else to say. I've been commentating for about 13 minutes straight now. I need a cup of tea, but yeah, I'll say it again. Good game, man. Make sure to check out the stream today, everyone. I'll be streaming at 5 PM again. Be staying up later. Hopefully I won't be as tired, because I got up a little bit later. I got up at like 10 or 11 rather than 6 or 7 in the morning. So yeah, come through if you want to battle. Come through if you just want to chill. Remember to check the Discord, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and maybe I will see you again soon.